funny thing is, we talk about the games that we played every week, but you're probably the one that plays the most games.
Yeah.
So why don't you fucking talk about them?
Well,
You actually finished the game this week. You should talk about it.
Why don't you talk about it right now?
Yes, but before you talk about it, I will welcome everyone back to the Tribute Game podcast. The Tribute Games is a studio in Montreal. We make video games like Mercenary Kings and Wizard, available on a variety of platforms. And talking to you right now is Yannick Belzil. I'm a writer and a social media person at Tribute Games. And with me are
Dom2D, I'm a game designer.
Stéphane Mouton, artist.
Justin, game design animation.
Jean-François, programmer.
Carl Kerschel, comic book artist.
hi guys.
Hey.
Hey, so as we were talking about like what we played this week, so Stéphane, what have you been playing?
Bunch of stuff. Right now I'm playing Tetrobot, which is a kind of a point-and-click puzzle game. Same guys who did
Swing Summary.
Yeah, exactly.
Tetrobots?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's really awesome. What is it's a point-and-click puzzle game with blocks. I don't really know how to describe it. They did the previous game kind of similar. Called
Blocks That Matter?
Matter.
Yeah.
But the Blocks That Matter was actually like a 2D side-scroll platformer type of game, and this one is more point and click, and it kind of turned me off at first because I don't know, I just downloaded it, not really looking into it, and I expected it to be like Blocks That Matter, but it turned out to be pretty good nevertheless. And I also played a bunch of Hammerwatch,
Yeah, we played that together
which
a
is
couple weeks ago, but you finished
pretty-
it with someone else, right?
yeah, pretty amazing, super cool. A few details, almost perfect, almost.
But what kind of game is it?
It's a dungeon crawler.
Okay.
So it's
Top
basically
view.
an update of Gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
co-op,
exactly.
2-player.
They
4
actually
players.
made they did some levels that just looked like Gauntlet.
Yeah, the
so-
bonus levels are just Gauntlet levels.
That's not the thing we played at your place once.
Yeah, we played it a bit.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
with like where you switch into a different monster all the time?
No.
Oh, that's a different game.
Oh, that's Crawl.
Yeah, okay.
No. But
Anyway. Lots of games where you crawl dungeons.
Yeah. But this one is really cool. Mostly in the multiplayer. Humongous dungeons with swarms of enemies coming at you, but they're really fun to manage. The controls are super simple, but really fun to play with. So
And that's on PC Steam?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on anything else.
I don't think
but
it is on anything
That
else.
sounds cool. And it's all sprites, or is it like hand-drawn?
all sprites, and there's actually I think it's still kind of always in development. Or
Well, they're adding content to it because they probably have good tools to create levels. So
I think
there's more and more
it
stuff.
seemed to be like a web thing, or maybe just a downloadable game, really small game at first, and then when they put it on Steam, they
Early access, like.
yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really look into the story, but
But it feels like they're evolving the basics.
Right.
because
That's cool.
there's like 3 campaigns, and one of them is like the early prototype kinda levels, and then the guy did a bunch, like I think there's 5 levels, and then he did a new campaign more recently, which is more like an RPG, where you have a central hub city like kind of thing, and you explore different dungeons, and then you go back to the central hub to upgrade your things.
That's really cool. It sounds like developers can like put out a game really early, gauge the feedback, and then just add content until they're bored or do something else.
I don't really like that kind of.
It's almost like you're providing now more of a service than a game. Like you're maintaining like.
Also, when you're buying, you just don't know what you're really getting. You don't know if
Yeah,
it will
exactly.
do that or not. So
Yeah.
I really don't like starting playing a game that's not finished, and like coming back to it a few months later and everything's changed. Or like Broforce, I haven't played that yet because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And
Oh, is it not officially finished?
no.
no,
And it's kind of weird because if you played it a couple months ago and you play it now, it is different. Like the structure is different. There's more levels and stuff, but you still redo the stuff that you've done before, and it's still changing. So you might have to redo it again and again. I don't know.
Yeah. Like personally, I kind of agree with you. I prefer like finished pieces that has a beginning, middle, and end, and you can wrap your head around it and feel like you've accomplished something. But the tendency seems to go more towards now like work in progresses. But
that's probably all because of Minecraft, right? Because Minecraft had a really strong core that worked, and then they just added and added and added to it.
Yeah,
and that was good.
But it works. It works with Minecraft because there's no real. Yeah, exactly. It's like a sandbox, so you just throw in a bunch of tools or like new stuff you can
level editors
play around with, and so that's good for that type of game. But like for Broforce, for example, it feels more like something that would have a structure and defined levels. And
so, just out of curiosity, how many of you have played Minecraft? Like actually played?
But that's. I mean, I've played 10 minutes.
Okay, so that
I've played a couple of hours of it.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, because I think a lot of people still think that it's only a creative mode, like that you can just put blocks and create stuff in it, but it's really not. Like it's
you have the Ender and Ender Dragon or something.
Well, there's a whole survival mode where you need to like actually mine and create.
Well,
stuff.
I think I only played the survival. I mean, isn't that the default? Like I started it and had to build a shelter, and I got attacked at night by creepy guys.
But most of the people I talk to that haven't played it only see the like the videos online or like I created Game of Thrones inside blah blah blah. But they all think that it's just a kind of a cube of Photoshop. I don't know.
I think it's like the survival mode is kind of like an annoyance. Like people play Minecraft just build these universes.
I'm only interested in the survival mode.
Yeah, me too.
Personally. Like, I think it's great you can build stuff, but if I was going to play it long term, it's like the constant threat is the only thing kind of keeping me interested.
That's the only game part there is.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
that's okay. I think it's cool. I used to dream about games like that when I was younger.
But that's what I mean. That's the only actual game there is.
Well, I think there's many games in Minecraft. Like I have a friend who just mines, so it's basically a slot machine because you just mine and he waits until he finds diamonds. But he does that all night. It's just his like it's like going to a bar and playing the slot machine.
What does he do with the diamonds?
Nothing. He has a giant chest with a shit ton of diamonds, and he's like, "Hey, you guys, you can use the diamonds if you want."
Are they random?
It's just it's a randomly seeded in the world, so. He just creates like super long tunnels and like a whole tunnel system so that you can find all the diamonds.
I played Terraria for a while. Yeah. And it was, I guess, it seemed like a similar thing, having not played a lot of Minecraft. And it's fundamentally the same thing, right? I know I'll probably get shit for that, but essentially there's you're fighting stuff, there's a survival mode and you're just digging and digging. And I guess there are bosses and things, but I never encountered any.
But you don't have to play that way. If you want to just stay on the surface and build stuff, you can do that. If you want to go deep and find the secret dungeons and fight in them, you can do that. Like it's kind of cool how on a server we're like 5 or 6 people, but we all kind of have our own little goal in the game. It's really, I don't know, I love it.
Do you think that kind of game design emerged from games like Grand Theft Auto, where you can just fool around in the city for hours
like
without actually doing anything?
Yeah, take a motorcycle and jump off.
Yeah, exactly. Stairs. Just do whatever, everything but what the game asks you to do.
I think it also comes from just prototyping. Like I think Notch was experimental kind of.
Seems like we've got a real hot topic.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Notch was kind of an experimental kind of programmer, right?
Yeah.
So he probably just created this one thing with cubes and was like, what can I do in it? And he just added the monster and then he's like, oh, I should probably put swords in it.
Wasn't there like a game that came out just before Minecraft that was like so similar?
I don't know.
I think it's Infinite Miner or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't tried it, so I can't really say how similar it is.
I think that one was just about the mining. But I don't know. I don't remember.
Can you imagine though being like so close yet so far? Like you just missed, putting a monster in your game from having like $6 billion.
Yeah, like the GoBots, like sitting in the corner. Like, damn it, so close.
I kind of like the GoBots.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you were born the...
GoBots.
Oh, the Transformers lookalikes.
Yeah.
Weren't I don't know if this is true, but I remember someone telling me that because as a kid I resented GoBots as
Yes.
the lame toy,
Yeah.
right? But someone told me they actually predated the Transformers, and the Transformers kind of ripped them off.
I think that they predated each other by like a couple of months, and the GoBots are entirely like I think North American product, while Transformers are a bunch of different toy lines from Japan that were sort of brought together under the same umbrella in North America. Like, as you know, there's a Jetfire in the Transformers. Is a Robotech,
Yeah, of course.
jet or character. So they just pick and choose different. I guess that's why they have Transformers have all these different sizes or something. Like probably for a while they just said they would be larger and bigger characters, and eventually they just made like tinier or smaller versions of them. Anyways, I'm no Transformer experts. I will say though that the Transformers G.I. Joe comic is really good, and the G.I. Joe do not know what Transformers are, so they refer to them as GoBots, which is
wow.
So what's your favorite Transformer, if you had to pick one?
that's probably up. Optimus Prime is cool. You know what? Who's really cool but not like is Cosmos. He turns into a green saucer.
Oh, I had him. I lost him.
Well, he's so small, of course.
No, but I think someone took him. Like I think I got him as like a secret Santa gift in school, and then someone took him home, and I didn't care that much because he sucked.
He sucks, but I like this saucer ship, and I also like there's a Decepticon that transforms into a train, and
Oh yeah,
Astro Train.
I had this one.
he was awesome.
because he has
It was so cool.
he has a cool name, and both of his forms are in his name. So that's really functional, and I like it a lot.
You know what amazed me is that, like, we probably watched Transformers in English, and everyone here watched them in French. But I guess Soundwave had his, like, synthesizer voice, but not in French.
Oh.
So when we watched it for the first time...
Yeah, a couple
in
of years
English.
ago, we were losing our mind. Like, wow, Soundwave's voice is awesome!
Yeah, that was Soundwave's voice was a really big deal. It was an iconic part of that show.
Like, I can't imagine, being fooled all these years not hearing that voice, It's
or Starscream / Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris
well,
Latta.
we had enough with the transforming noise.
Yeah.
I remember, like, at one point I looked up online, like, how did they make that sound, but I never found out. So maybe it's just like the sound of the gods. It's magical and weird. I never meant to know. But Justin, what are you playing this week?
I got around to playing just a couple first hour of Shantae.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bitch of a time downloading that thing.
Oh, now we're getting the explicit label from that term.
Sorry, but
Thanks.
No, but I mean, I decided for the 3DS I'm going to go all digital because I have a pretty large collection. I thought, no, let's
stop bragging.
But I thought, no, let's just put it all on one SD card because you can. I don't know, like it just took forever, and I kept getting error messages.
Did it take forever because it was downloading directly to an SD card?
Well, that's how it works.
It doesn't download to internal memory first, and then you move it over?
Hey, I don't know where the problem occurred. I just know that I purchased it, and they were like, thanks for the money. And then it just kept stalling and giving me error messages for like a day. And then when it finally, I contacted Nintendo. They got back to me like 4 days later or something. They're having like a lot of problems, I guess. But yeah, it just eventually works. I didn't get around to playing it more than an hour, but all that to say, Shantae is really great.
Is it a remake or it's a new one?
No, it's a new one. It's not the Kickstarter. That's like the entirely hand-drawn one that's coming out later. This is just another like pixel art 2D sprite platformer.
All right.
It's really good.
Feet drawn.
Feet drawn?
Yeah.
Oh, they drew with their feet instead of their hands? Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
I don't know why you would say hand drawn, really,
Yeah.
because pixels are hand drawn as well. So.
It's a very good point.
It's all hand-drawn.
Yeah.
Hand-drawn stuff is also technically still a sprite.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Well, digital. Oh my god.
yeah.
So it yeah, no, it's I got that in Fantasy Life, but I didn't get around to even starting it because it seems like it's a much bigger time sink.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more next week because you'll have some time to.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll have it finished for next week, but that's what I've been up to. What about you?
I'm still on Destiny, unfortunately, but I started playing, I've been meaning to finish Grand Theft Auto 3 for the longest time.
Wow.
Now that I have an iPhone 6 Plus, which is the worst device to game on.
It's the brag show.
Yeah.
Produce brag show.
I got all the games. I got
Is
the
it actually
machines.
bad? I was wondering, is it shitty to game on?
Big collection.
Or just for
Well,
that kind of game?
It's not shitty to game on if the game is actually made for
Yeah.
an iPhone, but Grand Theft Auto has like 20 buttons on the screen, and it's so hard to play.
It's hard to play that game with a regular controller.
Yeah.
I think.
Like,
Like the combat was always difficult.
I basically just shoot anywhere, and the auto aim sometimes works, and I can get by, but it's so painful to play. But I'm trying to finish it on iPhone, since it's my only time that I can really get the game on, like for older games and stuff. And touch controls. I really can't imagine like making a Mercenary King sport when I see those types of games. I also tried like Contra a while back, and it's so horrible to like.
Do you ever tried that little device they developed?
Yeah, the
like with
knobs.
I don't know.
It was like a little rubber ring thing that you put on the...
like a little
screen?
snap-on device.
Yeah, it's a nipple.
It had like
It's a nipple.
yeah, all right.
No, I never tried it.
Describing
I don't
medical
want to talk
aids.
about it anymore.
I don't know, it just adds another layer of complexity to games that really don't want to have, so really frustrating stuff.
How about you, Carl?
Oh, it's so depressing. You know what I've been playing? I'm ashamed to even say it's this dumb browser game called Clicker Heroes. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Don't start. It's
I mean, Cookie Clickers had
Yeah.
some fun in it, right?
yeah.
It had
It's
some humor.
it's basically exactly like that kind of thing. It's like, have you played
The
it?
jelly beans thing?
Kinda. It's like a game where you're basically it's literally just about clicking.
Right.
And then you can just keep upgrading stuff, to like automate the clicking for you faster and faster, and just keep doing more DPS and over and over. And then but this is worse in that, like, you can kind of get to you can unlock all the characters and then ascend the world, which means you basically soft reset everything. You keep all your,
Stats?
sort of, you kind of upgrade your heroes. You're gaining these hero souls. It's not worth getting into at
Okay.
all. The point is that, like, I just haven't had time to do anything
Oh, yeah.
with work. So, like, my only actual gaming time is either sitting on the metro, or like, every like hour or so, I'll open this dumb Clicker Heroes game and click on a few things and then close it again.
So it's kind of like a joke game, right?
That whole genre started with Cow Clicker, which was a parody of Farmville,
Right.
because everybody, the message was like, all you're doing is clicking on cows.
right.
Right.
But
It's really
even-
just distilling the mechanic to what it literally is, which is just clicking
You
for
just click
clicking for
one cow
achievements.
forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing is, even Cow Clicker became a success. Like,
Because
financially, they were selling different cows, they were selling different upgrades and
Yeah,
whatever.
this one, as far as I know, doesn't sell anything. And there aren't even
Surprising,
ads
no.
on the page.
I think there are upgrades now in Cookie Clicker that you can buy and stuff like that. But Cookie Clicker was funny because it was still a parody. Like, it was making fun of.
No, this doesn't feel like a parody at all.
At all.
It is just literally just taking this sort of addictive mechanic and upgrade tree
Wow.
and balances it in a way that you are compelled to just keep doing it.
And the numbers are gigantic. Well, in Cookie Clicker, it was like after two or three clicks, you get something, and 5 or something.
Yeah.
But Clicker Heroes, whatever it was called, like it's gigantic. It's just like
Yeah, it's
giant
like
monsters,
billion, like it's
3
literally
billion
exponentially.
HP.
It's like millions and then like millions of millions, and then, like they start using scientific notation to show the scores.
Yeah.
It is. I understand that it is a pointless exercise and stupid, but it's like kind of the only thing that I've had time for during the day.
I think we had a game designer back at Gameloft. This is like over 10 years ago. And I can't remember for the life of me the name of it, but it was something like Browser Quest, where it was a game that played itself. As long as you had it open, you just saw stats.
Yeah. Oh, this basically does that too. Like you can
Except you
close
had
your
no
browser. It has it installs some cookies, and when you open it again, it'll tell you. It'll tell you, hey, you've been gaining gold as you've been away, and you haven't really lost any progress. It's kind of insidious that way.
But this one was even worse because like all the stats meant nothing. And they just kept adding words and stats and things.
Oh.
Like, you never had any idea that you were better at something. And it just The point was to have it as open as long as you could, and whoever had it open the longest was the best.
Yeah. No, this is mathematically like all legit. Like it's just pointless. But like I was saying to you guys in that email really briefly, like the bigger problem for me right now is, and it's kind of like not worrisome, but I just don't understand it, is that like I'll go home, like I've been working super long days just to meet deadlines, and then I'll go home and I'll kind of want to play something, and like I'll fire up the PlayStation or the Xbox or whatever, and then I end up like literally, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, I just stare at the screen. Like I just go through the fucking games list and I'm like, I don't want to play any, and like there's like a bag of games I haven't even played, and I kind of go through, I'm like, I don't want to play any of this stuff. Yeah. And so then I kind of look online on the store and look at what's popular, what's on sale or whatever, and there's nothing. And I just don't know, like I remember feeling this way a few years ago, and I kind of it was just depressing. Like I just sort of fell out of it. I'm just waiting for some kind of experience, I think, that is different from all the junk.
Did you play the Brothers?
It's there. I had it. Like I had it installed, and I was like, "This is probably great and different."
Yeah,
and I just didn't have it in me to.
It's only in 3 hours.
Last night, I started playing The Puppeteer, because it seemed like a fun, different thing. But it was and it's beautiful, but it was also still just too. It was like really story. Like half the time, I wasn't even playing. I was just watching it do stuff.
But I think it's more about you than about the games.
I think
there are games that are pretty good right now. But it's just the involvement that you need to put into it and all that. Maybe you just don't have the energy for that.
I think so. I think maybe I just need a break.
I think that's why I bought Fantasy Life this week, is because I needed a game that is low involvement. Like you just go in there and just shoot a couple rabbits and pick up some flowers or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's just the level of space I have in my head for a game these days.
Yeah, it could be like when you're kind of in your head all the time, or you're doing creative work all day. It's kind of. I mean, usually I can just zone out with whatever. Honestly, I almost bought Destiny because I thought, or Alien Isolation or something, and I thought I wouldn't. Like, I just want to like play something that's totally.
I want to kill something.
Yeah, like kind of. Like I thought
Alien Isolation might be a mistake for you.
Maybe because it's probably way too involved, right?
But it's like it's dreadful and stressful, and you'll play 20 minutes a day and you'll be tired.
Yeah, I thought like when I sat and kind of thought about what I kind of felt like playing, I almost just played some old Halo games.
Yeah,
just because it was kind of comfortable and dumb,
familiar.
And, yeah. So.
That's why I'm playing old adventure games that I've played before. Like, I finished Quest for Glory 3 this week, but it was, like, totally brainless. It was just like, I remember this. I just need to go there and then go there and then go there and do this. I finished it, and it was just like, okay.
Maybe I'll put in Symphony of the Night again.
Oh, yes. That's the best.
Yeah, like, there's nothing wrong with going back to old stuff. Like,
no, I do. I do. Yeah, anyway, finish your...
Oh, no, I think there's just as much merit in that as playing new stuff. I also think that some of it's maybe the industry, too. Like, I find, like, the length of games... It becomes intimidating because it's not like movies where you can just blitz and watch, or like TV series. Like in a week, you can like watch the entirety of a series, or watch, like all the movies that came out in a year in a weekend kind of thing. You can't do that with games. You can't just say like, oh, I'm going to play the last, 10 cool games this year. You couldn't do it in the same time space. So I think the length of games has a lot to do with it. And
you probably could.
Yeah, well, sometimes. But and then I also think the other problem is that it's just like a super saturated market where the quantity of good quality stuff that's out there is, it's let's face it, it's almost a problem because no one has the time to put into it. So unfortunately, I don't have a solution for these kinds of problems, but.
I think it's just like you said, it's going to come back at some point. You'll find the one game that's really interesting for you.
Yeah, I think you go through these sort of slumps. Yeah, I've been through it before.
Well, I like Tetrobot for that because it kind of uses I come back from work, my brain's rushing, and it uses that rush, but transforms it into puzzle solving. Because it's really brainy. Like if you want to solve all the problems, it gets really. They manage to get a good amount of twists.
It was interesting actually because I was trying to I was just sitting on the couch and I was trying to think like, what do I actually even want to play. Like I couldn't even think of what I wanted.
Or Jamestown, like a shooter, space shooter.
I saw that. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, as for me, you've been mentioning.
No, we don't want to know. We don't
well,
want- no.
it's I don't have a lot to add anyway, so I might as well shut up. You're right.
No,
Yeah, but
shut up.
You played the new Zelda.
yeah, Link Between Worlds.
yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing something really familiar and but something new at the same time, and I'm really loving it so far. But again, I'm wondering if it's just me stepping into a new, cleaned up, pristine iteration of my favorite game. Like I'm really enjoying it, and but I'm wondering, like, is it really, really good, or is it just like the new version of something I love? And even though like producing a game like that, it's not like there's a Zelda machine and you can just press a button and poop out a new Zelda. Well, you know what? If there's a machine like a couple of times it didn't work all that well, or this time it's working really well for me. There's the so I'm enjoying it a lot. Seeing like the 3D version of Hyrule in HD of a map I already know by heart. Is
it the same map?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
It's the same map.
It has a bunch of differences though, especially in the Dark World.
I have to think, is this actually a game we've all played? Because that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, we all played the same game.
So it's
for
cool.
once.
We can actually all add to the
But
discussion.
Yannick
You
is
didn't play?
like,
No, not yet.
second dungeon. Something
I'm done the first dungeon and I'm heading towards the second dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that much time to play. I could play a lot of it like this week because I was on a train, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I think the differences appear more later on, so that's probably why you still feel like that.
But one thing I really liked about it, because on the 3DS, like, and Jeff started talking about touch controls, like I was really, as I was playing it, I had not played a DS game for a while, and I was like, oh right, touchscreen. I hope there's not too much of it in there. And it turns out you can just do it all with buttons if you like. And I was glad with that because I'm like, I don't want to. I remember back in the DS days, I had no problem whipping out the stylus and play in the subway or just play with that. But now I guess putting in too much tablet time at work and stuff, like I don't want to use a stylus.
I can't remember the last time I took the stylus out of the DS holder. I never ever use it.
I mean, the Phantom Hourglass and all that, they pushed it too far. Like they did not need to do all the swipe and dash stuff, and it was just tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, in I think it's Flower Town or whatever that Mii game.
I haven't played that one yet.
I don't know, the one in the plaza?
I haven't downloaded any of the extra Mii games, just the default.
They're
ones.
great.
Yeah.
They are really good.
Well, for some reason, I keep trying to like touch the top screen. I know it's not
Just in that
screen,
game?
but there's like a circle where there's like a door in it, and it really looks like it's like you should be able to press it. And I keep pressing that stupid button and feeling really ridiculous.
Lead programmer, ladies and gentlemen. Lead programmer.
So yeah, I think it should be dual like touchscreen or none at all.
But yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, to not have to bother with the touchscreen. And no, it's just extremely charming in that particular Nintendo Zelda way that I really enjoy. I love when going to Kakariko Village. I love going to talk to all of the NPCs and their weird speech patterns and the old Nintendo joke of press Y to do this. What does press Y mean? I don't know. I'm just a kid. Stuff like that, I think, is it always works for me. So I'm really enjoying it, and I hope to play it more in the week.
Once you reach the Thieves Town, make sure you talk to the musicians in the bar.
Yes, I have. I have talked to the musician. There's a shy kid who does not want to talk too much, and there's his friend who's more talkative.
Did they play some music for you?
They did play the Zelda music for me, and I imagine that if I ask for more songs eventually, they get into the Nintendo catalog or something.
I think it's my favorite part of the game because they just play a kind of a acoustic version of the Zelda songs, and it's just super lovely and super like intimate. I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, you get to. It uses the Link to the Past world, but it gets to be more lived in at the same time. You can use more of it, which I really like. As you start the game, it's not a direct sequel to Link to the Past. It's, again, like most Zeldas, maybe a century past, and at one point you can find information about Link to the Past being in the past. But at first, I thought that it was a direct sequel. And everyone is sort of saying, Link, get up, what are you doing? And stuff like that. So I just said, oh, after saving Hyrule, he just went back to his regular life and everyone forgot his mighty deeds.
Right.
And he went back to his regular life and he had to make something of himself and he could not fall back on the glory of being the hero of time. Everyone forgot about it. I thought it was really profound and sad, but maybe true to life, that maybe in life you can't live off your accomplishments or something like that. But it turns out it was not about that at all.
Yes. It's fun to see like how well they've captured the look of the sprites and the color schemes in 3D.
Yeah.
And they even showed, I think, like a making of where they explain how like all the houses are skewed to sort of give that top-down look, because it's kind of a cheated perspective. It's not like a pure like bird's eye view or three-quarter. It's, something of a perspective. But they showed how they had to like take everything and just kind of put it on an angle,
like backwards. Yeah,
yeah. So they just
everything
everything
is as their head backwards. Huh.
Yeah, the whole of Hyrule is just leaning back a bit. And also, I really enjoy the main Link sprite, who's not like who's not the cute cartoon Wind Waker, but I love that design. But I love the squat classic Link with his weird round nose.
But his hair is not pink.
Well, it should be weird blonde, but it would be great if it was pink, just like the original sprite. Yeah. But it's weird how you don't register the sprite as having pink hair. You just think of him as having the hair color from the box art and stuff like that. But it's a pretty good game. Try it out. Try this little known game called A Link Between Worlds. It's pretty good.
Yeah, some people are gonna think they're listening to last year's podcast.
Yeah, well, when I talk about gaming, that's gonna happen for me.
Honestly, though, I think there's really just as much merit in talking about things that didn't come out this week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, we were pretty busy last year, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Are you guys going to buy that new DS with the camera control?
Nope. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
You're going to buy it for Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah. Okay. Kind of have to.
Justin is wearing a Monster Hunter polo right now.
But
it hasn't been announced yet, right? For North America?
Yeah.
It has?
Early 2015.
Okay.
But yeah, I just bought this is the second 3DS I've bought in like a year because the first one crapped out and this one's giving me problems. So it's like, I'm kind of also annoyed that I'm like having to buy these things.
What kind of problems?
The first one, the shoulder just gave out.
Oh.
And then on this one, like, I don't know, because there's like rubbing on the two screen sizes, like there's like starting to get like a bubble on the top screen. And I haven't done anything. The speakers, they, how do you say it in English? They grish.
They're on the fritz.
Yeah.
On the fritz.
They'll probably replace it for you.
I guess, but I don't know.
If you're a Nintendo person, I have no integrity. I will re-edit this podcast to remove all the bad stuff out. No problem, as long as we get new DSs and chicken.
But the first Game Boy, one of my friends dropped it in a lake, and then he picked it out, and it was still working. That thing is a tank. It's impossible to break it.
Did you ever go to the Nintendo World Store in New York? They have the Game Boy that was like in the first Gulf War, and it survived like a bombing, and the plastic casing is all melting. It's like all the guts are kind of exposed, and it's running Tetris fine.
Nice.
Like these things were indestructible.
They're like cockroaches.
Yeah.
That case was so thick. That old Game Boy case. It was like I don't even remember how heavy it was. I mean, I'd be shocked to pick it up now, I think.
It's like, it was pretty much like, it looked, from afar, it looks like an adult calculator, like your parents would use. And when they had that printer late in its life with the paper rule, it really looked like an accountant's calculator.
Yeah. I think every time Apple announces an iPhone, I wish they would just compare it to the original Game Boy. It's 15 times the size of.
Yeah, let's make.
I don't even read books that are as thick as the original Game Boy. So.
Let's make the original Game Boy our stick yard, our measurements for anything.
For everything.
Her measuring stick. It's not a measuring stick anymore. It's a Game Boy. Yeah.
How many Game
Game Boy
Boys
for
is that?
scale.
How many Game Boy is that?
How many Game Boys long is this podcast?
I don't know. It's. I would say it is. It could be like 100 rounds in Tetris mode A.
Oh, if you suck.
If you suck, yeah, for sure. And so yeah, that's what else to say. I'm just waiting for the next time we can use the Game Boy measurements
Are
example.
you tired, Carl? You want to go?
No, I can do it.
Questions? Dev Corner?
Dev Corner, do we have Dev Corner questions? Dev Corner stuff to discuss?
Reader mail.
Reader mail? I do not have reader mail. People listening to this podcast that do not read anything at all. All comments about this podcast comes from Dot Waves. They recorded, they sent it to me, and they say it's either great or terrible. It's all great. It's all great. What else we can talk about? We finally shipped off all our Kickstarter rewards.
Yeah, thank God.
It's
Almost.
it's a huge load of Game Boys off our minds.
All the physical stuff.
All the physical stuff, man. We only have like the art book left, I think, and once it'll be corrected.
Seeing all the tubes and boxes with all the merch, the merch, really gave me a strange feeling of satisfaction. Like it was the first time it felt like you could actually see, physically see the amount of work we've put in doing all these things, because most of it is digital and like all the distribution was digital, so we never really had a physical way to quantify.
Like you don't
the
go
work
to
we
the
did,
factory
but-
to see all the boxes from Merc Games. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a million boxes. Yeah. But,
And seeing all that this week was really fun and strange. Like it really felt like, wow, okay, we did all that.
I was
Cool.
I was really scared to see the Post Canada truck burn in
I
the
think
fire. And all that hard work.
The guy that came to pick up this stuff was pretty scared as well.
Yeah. Nobody in the room
Yeah.
told him he had to pick up like 200 packages.
Yeah, that was his new high score apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you got a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Dev Corner.
Dev Corner? Is there a Dev
Curses and Chaos. I'm
Yes.
working on the endings
Corner? Yes.
that you wrote.
Yes, it's really fun to watch because I just think of writing stuff and seeing you giving life to the stuff I wrote like a couple months ago is really exciting. It's really well done. So right now you're like, maybe you can explain how you work art-wise for the opening and the intro, all the stuff you're drawing, not unlike the opening for Merc Kings. So you sketched at first. You start by sketching that out on paper, and what
Oh
you do
yeah, I
then?
do really super rough, ugly thumbnail sketches, and then from what you wrote, and then I do bigger thumbnails of it. Cleaner. I don't want to say cleaner because it's still pretty rough. A less rough version, and then I put in colors, and from that I'll probably do a little mock-up video or GIFs to get a sense of how it should unfold. And if everybody's happy with that, I'll probably start cleaning everything up.
And integrating it.
Yeah.
But
Is it all animated in code this time? Or?
No, actually, John, he was cool. He made us some very primitive tools.
Okay, cool.
Because, I think for previous games, we always end up doing, in-game cutscenes where we move sprites around, but we didn't have any tools, so it was always up to a programmer to do it, and they're always overloaded with other things. So realizing that we actually had to have some kind of tools, John gave us stuff where we can actually have, XY coordinate controls over things. So
Sweet.
yeah, eventually we're going to have some pretty cool tools.
And when you clean that up, it's pretty much like you already have your palettes set it out and you mostly know what the drawing is. So it's pretty much just using the pen tool in Photoshop, the pencil tool in Photoshop, and you just draw it
Pixel per pixel.
pixel per pixel.
Pixel per pixel.
Yeah. Well, the resolution for the game is pretty small, and for the intro and probably the endings as well, we went with a boxed, smaller I don't know how to explain
It's
it.
just framed. Yeah, it's like
Like a smaller image
Okay.
inside that resolution, so it gets to be really super small.
Well, it's like the NES cutscenes oftentimes were
Right.
not full screen. They were like a little square in the middle.
Yeah.
with text.
Didn't Mega Man do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite a challenge to actually represent anything.
I don't know, because you're pulling it off pretty good though.
Like sexy poker all
But
over again.
It gets really like the amount of stuff you can put in is really limited, and I also went with a super limited color palette for the intro and endings, like in greenish tones and a red. So like
Almost looks like old print.
and really limited. Like I think I only have like eight colors. So like having multiple characters in front of each other, like wearing various elements, doing all that in 8 colors, it's a pretty intensive challenge.
Did you limit yourself to that palette just out of personal preference, or was there like, is it supposed to emulate like a certain look, or did you guys talk about that, or is it just? what it felt like?
I did an illustration just for fun of the main characters. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, so I went with it was actually just a simple grayscale image.
But it does.
Then I played around with filters and stuff, and it turned out green at some point, and
it gives out a good feeling.
It looks
It's-
amazing. It looks great. I just wondered what the reason was.
I just explored that visual a bit more, and
But also,
I thought
the
it looked.
sprites are those colors, right? They're not. They're 3 colors or 4 colors, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The whole game is really limited in color, so it
Keeping with
reflects.
that theme, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been weird to have your illustration be like with color skin and a bunch of different colors.
Or not though. I mean, it could have been anything. So
Yeah. Well, that's actually what I'm wondering for the endings, because I'm not sure how it will look with like popping greenish
hues.
pictures in the middle of colorful gameplay, or
Right.
so.
You should
but
do
we'll
them in 3D.
see. Or
Live action.
yeah.
Live action.
Ah,
do you call
FMV,
it?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's turning out great. So, like, all your suffering is not for nothing. It's turning out great.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. Thanks.
So,
Well, it works for the intro, like, because the intro is remote from the gameplay, like, and it tells a story, so it kind of makes sense that it would be like a different color because it's like
flashback.
past
or, yeah.
tense. It helped the eerie feeling of the game, like
The curse.
yeah,
theme and all
reflecting the
that.
curse and so everything's greenish, ghoulish. But so we'll see. For the endings, I'm still not 100% sure how it will turn out. But
I know how it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out great. As for
You're
myself,
a good project manager on this game, on your game, Justin. You're motivating the troops. You're keeping the morale up.
well, all you have to do is just afford everyone as much, autonomy and
Chocolate.
chocolate.
Just respect their
Exactly.
expertise.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, we've all been working with each other. It's like I can completely trust things to people and the things that they do best. So for me, it's actually not hard. I just have to look over every once in a while and go,
Yep.
looks amazing. And it does. So, it's, when you got staff this good.
We'll see. We'll see if you're doing your job
Oh,
right this
God.
week or maybe next week. Right? We're gonna test out your
Yeah,
levels.
really. No, we'll see. Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
you're almost done with the.
Just about. I'm like 3 waves away from having the whole thing done. I mean, first pass done.
And then we'll play test it and we'll scrap everything.
Exactly. No, I mean, everything's a work in progress. So, but it's.
Is there any buses yet?
John's got one boss.
Yeah, the ghost.
I mean, look, John's been really busy with all the Kickstarter and stuff, so it's going to be fun because now that that's out of the way, we can just kind of like sprint to the finish and not before long, we'll have more and more bosses done. I think that's maybe the biggest puzzle piece that's missing right now. And
So we'll replace making boxes with making bosses.
hey,
Oh.
I see what you did.
And that was bad.
No, I appreciate the effort. You got hustle. And, yeah, it's coming along. So, it'll be fun to have that out of the way and then just focusing on other things. Cause when you do sort of like dual roles, some days you animate, some days you design. When you're laser focused on one thing, like if I come back to like spriting, I'll just be like, and like not know what I'm doing. So,
Someone audiographed that.
Is this why the hamburger helper mascot is in the game now?
well,
That'll be my text message ringtone now.
yeah, no, I do feel like I'm losing my mind. Just like I'm losing my hair, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. So
I mean, it's pretty smooth compared to
His head?
working. It's pretty smooth. Son of a bitch.
Oh man, we're getting punchy now.
We're not even drinking anymore while recording the podcast.
Yeah.
What about you, Carl?
Yeah, well,
How do you call it? The
Dev Corner?
Oh yeah, with K's.
Carl's Corner.
Carl's Corner.
oh yeah, my dev corner. What am I? Yeah, I'm in development on the second half of issue 3 of Gotham Academy, which is due.
So
You just finished.
It just feels like that, doesn't it? Yeah, I got copies of issue 2 yesterday. They showed
Nice.
us. Issue 2 comes out next week. Issue 3 is half drawn. I'm actually like really hustling on that thing. I'm doing it pretty fast. It's due November 14th. It has to go to the printer.
Wow.
So I've got like
the third issue.
the third issue. So I have to, and it's being colored. We've got 2 colorists on it.
You find another one?
We found another colorist.
Yeah?
She's really good.
Cool.
And it's, I don't even know, it's all a blur. Like, you know, when you work on stuff, when you finish a project and you can't remember having worked on.
Yeah.
So like, there's pages I like look at from last week and I'm like, I don't remember drawing this. I don't know how this got done. That's what it feels like right now. So I've got like, I think 10 or 11 pages left to do before November 12th or 13th.
But then you'll be halfway done.
And then I'm halfway done the first arc, and then who knows what's happening after that. 6 issues for sure, and then I don't know what's going on.
How much time will there be between arc 1 and 2?
Well, DC's got some thing going on because they're moving. They're moving from the New York offices. They're closing New York and they're moving to Burbank. So there's this weird like month or 2. Maybe it's just a month. I don't remember. Anyway, there's a month like in March or April where they cease publication of everything that is currently being published. And there's a team who's working on some kind of event thing for that month or 2. And then after that, the regular stuff resumes. So,
I bet you they're gonna do like a weird Age of Apocalypse ripoff for that.
or some kind of crossover-y thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Actually, I saw part of what it is when we visited the offices, and I can't tell you about it because I don't remember. Like I wasn't paying a lot of attention.
It was so slight and not interesting.
I saw artwork on the walls.
You were probably drawing those pages you don't remember.
Yeah, while I was walking around the offices in New York. Anyway, so there'll be a month off of Gotham Academy anyway.
Okay.
And then it will just resume with issue 7, and then I don't know what we're going to do schedule. I'll probably need a short break. So maybe we'll do have a fill-in like story or one issue or something like that, and then I'd continue on. I guess, I don't know, we have to talk about it. I can't even think that far ahead right now. I'm so
Well,
in it.
pretty intense.
Yeah, monthly comics are just a ridiculous schedule. I don't know how anyone does it.
I don't know how you pays.
I usually don't do it. It doesn't pay as well as you'd think.
Oh, no. Sorry.
No, don't do it if you're looking to make money for sure. Yeah, people I think if you look at a lot of monthly comics, they're really loose. They're pretty rough. Not everything. Some stuff is really finished.
DC is especially loose.
Yeah, maybe.
You can't say that. Sorry.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the slate of what they're publishing, but I know I look at a lot of people's just monthly work, and it's pretty. It's like looser brushwork.
Yeah.
So maybe other people have just found a way to do it faster or do multiple pages a day, but I can't.
That's why I'm so impressed with Gotham Academy because it's just freaking gorgeous.
Thanks. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's maintainable. I don't know if we can sustain that kind of quality for more than 6 issues.
And
It's
it
kinda crazy.
has to be a weekly, monthly.
I guess.
Can it be done in advance? Like you can do the whole season and kind of.
I guess if we hadn't have lead time, we could, but like it's going now. So
Yeah.
So the only way to do it would be like if we got like a couple issues of like a short fill-in arc, and I started the next arc well in it, like with like 3 or 4 months of buffer time, then we'll almost have to. Like because I can't I don't see my family. Like I haven't barely seen my children in the last several weeks. So yeah, it's not cool.
We have time to do Halloween with your kids.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, technically, no, I don't have time, but I will. Tomorrow I'll have to leave early and I'll go trick or treating and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's where I am.
Stefan and I can do a couple of issues. They're not going to be good, but
Sure,
they might be real terrible. We'll make them.
What characters do you want to do? You can focus on all new characters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Well, we write a 2-parter about students in the background while whatever happens in your first arc happens in their own background.
Yeah, it'll be
It's a
like
whole
that
thing.
Harry Potter story where they're watching stuff from. It's like the time travel story.
Exactly.
So you're just showing a different point of view from that first 6 issues.
Yeah, you can always put in a fill-in with that. And with that note, done. What? Yes. What?
Lightning round question for Halloween.
Yes.
Favorite Halloween or horror game? Quickly.
Maniac Mansion. Maniac Mansion.
Jeff. Justin.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, you could say it's horror team, I guess.
I don't know.
I'll go with Slender, because the Slender, the Arrival game, is just creepy as shit. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I don't really like
It's terrible. but it's
scary or
scary.
creepy games. Like I was telling John yesterday, I can't play Resident Evil
Okay.
because
Or
it's
Splatterhouse.
it's just too creepy. Like I don't want to explore any part of the map. Like you get to a door and you just hear like. So it's just like,
Nope.
forget it. I'm just gonna run with my herbs and
Are you saying there should be an option to just hide in the closet?
yeah.
And just, you win.
You survived.
But
I'm going to go with The Seventh Guest.
Oh, wow, that's a good
That's
one.
my choice. I've only played it once when it came out. It was one of my first CD-ROM game.
Didn't that thing have you had to play it on 12 CD-ROMs or something?
No, it came on one, pretty sure.
I'm thinking of Phantasmagoria or something.
Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played that when I was young
How much?
with an older cousin, and it was really.
Costume
creepy.
Quest. That's what I'll take. I'll go with.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Second one came out recently, but it seems like it's just more of the same.
Mhm.
But, Jeff, yours is Destiny? Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, where can we find you on the internet this week?
Dom2D on Twitter.
Well, you could always follow me on
shit.
Twitter, but I mean, I don't say anything. I speak less than in this podcast, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
Direct all questions to.
At the JGS Boutin on Twitter.
Justin_Sear.
At JF Major with a 0 instead of an O. Yeah.
Free original Jeff Major. Carl?
At Carl Kerschel.
You can follow me at Yannick Belzil. You can follow Tribute Games at Tribute Games, and you can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook for our different games and for the company. And if you like this podcast, please consider giving us a review on iTunes. 5 stars, and suggestions. 5 stars. We'll accept 4, but we think it's worth 5. So the podcast can get more known and have more listeners, and that's a good reason. Success.
It's a star investment. You invest
Exactly.
for the future so that it becomes 5-star.
Exactly. Thank you. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening to us this week, and we'll be talking at you next week. Woo! Sauce. Well done, guys.
Yeah, good one.
That's maybe our longest cast yet.
Yeah, it's good.